For some time, a lot of you have reached out to me asking me different types of questions concerning the US B1, B2 tourist visa. And one of the most popular questions is, can I switch from a tourist visa to work visa or to student visa or to any other type of visa? This question is much in my DMs on my various social media platforms. Even in the comment sections of my videos, people regularly ask this question. Maybe because they realize that I reside here in the US, so they feel like we have first-hand information on that subject. That's correct. That is why in this video today, I am doing this to answer you all. Because actually, there are many things you can achieve or do with a US tourist visa. Yes. So that is why I've decided to say, let me bring this to your notice. Because like I have said in my previous videos, what you don't know is bigger than you. Travel sense is very, very important. And also, let me quickly say this. A lot of people have been asking me how much is the US visa fee in Nigeria. The US visa fee used to be 333,000 naira or thereabout. Now it has been reduced to 259,000 naira. That is for the US B1, B2 tourist visa. From 333K or thereabout, now it is now 259K. So I just wanted to quickly say this out there because I am making this content on US visa. So it is very, very important for me to quickly put that out there so that you guys can be aware. Now, for those coming across my channel, my name is Nusa Comedy, and please do well to subscribe if you haven't done so, because right here, a lot is happening. Everything we do here, we keep it real. I don't sugarcoat anything here. I say things the way they are. So take your time to fact check whatever information I put out here, and you will see that every of my info here is legit. So now, while you are on a tourist visa to the US, currently in Nigeria, this visa is 5 years. It used to be 3 years, it's 5 years. Now, when you get this visa is 5 years does not mean you will stay the whole 5 years at a single stretch in the US. If not, you have overstayed your visa. Now, when you land at the airport or at any of the airports here in the US, you meet Homeland Security, immigration at the airport. Your passport or your visa can be stamped, sometimes may not be stamped. But it is now at your discretion to know that the maximum you can stay at a single visit is not more than 180 days, which is 6 months. Now, you may come to the US and your visa may not be stamped. And you may be thinking because your visa is not stamped, you can stay the whole 5 years of your visa. No. Usually, there is what we call I-94. That paper usually used to be inside your passport They used to do that, but they no longer do that. So usually they stamp, or better still, you can go online to the I-94 website or so, and there you put in your passport details, like your name, passport number, visa number, and what have you. You will see how long they have given you to stay in the US. We call it I-94. Now, when you must have landed here in the US, you may decide to say, okay, what can I do with this visa? Because obviously, a tourist visa is not a work visa. But recently, or let me say before now, if you come to the US on a tourist visa, you are not allowed to apply for jobs. You cannot attend job interviews. But until recent, I learned that while you are on a tourist visa, you can apply for jobs, you can attend job interviews, but you cannot work until if you are given that job, your employer will now file for your adjustment of status for you to get a work authorization. Because as a foreigner, without that work authorization, you cannot work. Here, we call it EAD. So it is an authorization for you to work. So if you are here on a tourist visa, you can be applying for jobs. And if any of those jobs you have applied for scheduled you for an interview and they like to hire you, and eventually they know that you are on a visitor visa, if they really need your expertise, they can decide to say, okay, no problem. We will file for you to get adjustment of status and eventually get your work authorization. Ordinarily, this process is not that easy because people are competing for these jobs on a regular basis. That is not to say these jobs are not there. Jobs are there. But not many employers are ready to go down this road with you. But there are cases where people did it. They were lucky. Especially when the interviewer really believes or really believe in what you are doing and really they need your service or services in that company or in their establishment or organization, if you will. So now, what are the other things you can do while you are on a US tourist visa? Some time ago, somebody asked me and said, Nosa Comedy, just like Canada, now you can go to Canada with a visitor visa because there is a temporary policy in place that we allow visitor visa holders to come to Canada, search for jobs, attend job interviews, and if given that job has to be an LMIA licensed job or an LMIA exempt job. If given that job, they can be able to apply for a work permit to start working right there in Canada, just like some people have done. So people are asking me, can that same thing be done here? Fine, that is what I just explained. Now, we also know that right there in Canada, you can also study with a Canada visitor visa. I have done that video here on my YouTube. All you have to do is scroll down and you will see that video. How to study in Canada with a visitor visa. So right here in the US, you can also study with a US tourist visa if that is something you want to do. It has its own process. You understand? That is to say, you can, while you are here, you can change from a US tourist visa to an F1 visa. An F1 visa is that visa for students. And also, it is very, very important for you to know that while you are here on that visa, on that tourist visa, time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. Mind you, just like I said earlier in the beginning of this video, even though your visa is 5 years, you cannot stay more than 6 months on a single visit, except maybe due to emergency. You know, you will still have to sort that out with USCIS. That's the Immigration Service. So now, for those of you who are also applying for this US tourist visa, it is also very, very important for you to note that when you get this visa and you intend to do any of this, being strategic is a very important tool. Because while you are here, every single day is important. Because your time is limited. You understand? Now, you may want to ask, now that it is possible to study, some people have also asked me, what are the ranges, or what are the range, the tuition fee range here in the US for a year for a first degree program? You can find a first degree program in a year between around 8,000-9,000 to as high as 40,000 Canadian dollars a year. There are schools here where people pay 40,000 Canadian dollars every year. There are schools here where people are paying 10,000, 9,000 US dollars, I mean to say. There are schools here in the US where students are paying as high as 40,000 US dollars annually. In the same vein, there are schools here in the US where international students are paying as low as 9, 10, 11, 12,000 US dollars a year, while other international students are also paying as high as 30,000, 40,000 US dollars a year. So the price differs. So this is what this video is all about, and I know and I believe that many of you are now satisfied, knowing fully well that you can achieve these things while you are on a tourist visa. I decided to make this video today because I'm very, very tired. I'm feeling sleepy, but I feel like this question is becoming too many. So I am not going to ignore them for so long. So I decided to quickly make this. So this is what it is, guys. Till I see you in my next video. Keep winning. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Have a good one.